ଆଚ୍ଛା ଅଧଘଣ୍ଟା କ୍ଲାସ୍ ହବ। ଆଜିର ଟା ହଁ ଜୁନ୍ର ଥିବ ଜୁନ୍ 2022 ଜୁନ୍ 22। Good morning. So let's start today's current affair discussion to start with. So the news is on Indo-Bangladesh Joint Consultative Commission. You know, we are close neighbors. In the creation of Bangladesh, India has played a very significant role. It is because of India that Bangladesh was created. By dividing the East Pakistan from Pakistan, Bangladesh was created. With active Indian support of Indian military and also Indian political establishment, the country was created. So, but the relations since the creation have underwent both ups and downs. We have very good phase of relationship as well as we have seen the lowest ebb in the relationship. But in recent time, the relationship between the two sides are very cordial and improving day by day. So, in this light, recently the seventh round of the Indo-Bangladesh Joint Consultative Commission was held in New Delhi. Right. So, what's the news? The news is because the consultative committee meeting of the Indo-Bangladesh Joint Consultative Commission was arranged, and it was arranged at New Delhi. What are the outcomes? Both the countries expressed satisfaction that despite challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, both the countries have worked closer than ever before in every sector. Because the government in India and the Awami League, so which is the party in power in Bangladesh right now? The Awami League. The Awami League government led by Sheikh Hasina as Prime Minister. Okay, because the Awami League, when it comes to power, the relation with India, so it witnessed a very prospective phase. But the other party, the BNP, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, when it came to power, relationship at times have seen deep in the relationship. There is fallen relationship. But when Awami League, because this is the party whose leader Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the father of the present Prime Minister, was called as the father of Bangladesh, and they realize, they know it very well, the role of India in their freedom struggle and the support India provided to them in their liberation work. Cooperation is seen in sectors like security and border management. What is the cooperation? Security and border management to mutually beneficial trade, investment flow, as well as enhance bilateral and sub-regional multimodal connectivity, greater power and energy cooperation, developmental assistance and capacity building exchanges, cultural and close people to people ties. So you see the wide diversity of the relationship. Okay, so it spreads from culture to technology. Okay, from the traditional historical cultural aspect to technology to investment flow, power, energy, security and border management, all these are the domains where both the country cooperate each other, and the plan is to further work close together to deepen and strengthen cooperation in areas of common river and water resources management, because as they share border, so many common rivers are there, more than 100 rivers they flow between the two countries. There's so many common rivers. IT and cyber security, where India has a dominance. Renewable energy, where India is a leader, and agriculture and food security, where India support Bangladesh, as well as India has demonstrated its capability in agricultural development, food production, and ensuring food security for its 140 crore population in comparison to the situation in Bangladesh. Fine. So then other areas sustainable trade, climate change and disaster management because climate change is leading to natural disasters magnitude growing and both being the countries sharing the Bay of Bengal, so they are quite frequently the natural disasters like cyclones, floods are very frequent in both the countries and both can share their knowledge, expertise, and experience in disaster management and how to mitigate the impact of disasters in both the countries. Both sides reiterated the importance of safe, speedy, and sustainable return of the forcibly displaced person from the Rakhine state of Myanmar, currently being sheltered in Bangladesh, called the Rohingya refugees. Okay, the Rohingyas are the people or the Muslims who are in the Rakhine province of Myanmar, but due to the torture of the military, so they are leaving the country and so they are taking asylum. And Bangladesh is a major country which has observed majority of the Rohingya refugees in its own territory, although some of them have come to India also. Right. So then we can discuss about the significance of the meeting, the land boundary agreement and river management. You see, both sharing the borders, so they also share. So there are so many enclaves. So they are known as the enclaves. Enclaves. What is an enclave? Enclave is a small territory inside the other country. So there are 51 Bangladesh Bangladeshi enclaves inside India and 111 Indian enclaves inside Bangladesh. So this land boundary agreement of 2015 signed by the two government. So this was resolved and the respective enclaves were made the integral part of that particular country. So to make it very clear, in these 51 Bangladeshi enclaves inside India, the Bangladeshi people are staying and they are not able to get Indian citizenship and were deprived from all basic rights or amenities provided by the government. And similarly, in the 111 Indian enclaves inside Bangladesh, Indians were staying and they were also not getting any benefit from the Bangladeshi government. By the bilateral agreement on the two sides, these were exchanged. That means, so this became integral part of India and the people became the Indian citizens and this became integral part of Bangladesh and the people staying inside this territory became the citizens of Bangladesh. This resolve a long-standing issue between the two countries. So since independence, fine. So both the country have been in dialogue over the setting the multiple levers that define the borders and impact lives and livelihood both the sides. So as I told you, more than 100 rivers flow between the two countries. Fine. And some of them became controversial, similar like the Tista River. We have resolved the Ganga disputes. The Ganga River, known as Padma. We have the Farakka barrage. Okay, by which the water flow from India to Bangladesh is agreed upon and mutually it has been resolved. But there are so many other rivers over which that agreement has not been reached and consensus has not been arrived at. Okay, so Bangladesh has been particularly keen on receiving fair share of this waters, the Tista that flow through north parts of West Bengal. So recently the Tista River agreement was signed, which resolved this distribution to some extent. Fine. So moving further, we can check repatriation of Rohingya. So Bangladesh have been hosting more than 1 million displaced persons from the Rakhine states of Myanmar. The Rohingyas, the refugees from the Rakhine state of Myanmar, unable to bear the torture of the Myanmar military without the support of the political establishment in Myanmar, because it is a military junta which is ruling right now in Myanmar. Military at present is ruling Myanmar, a military junta is ruling Myanmar. Okay, so the Rohingyas are leaving the country, so they are known as the Rohingya refugees, and more than a million of those displaced persons are staying in Bangladesh, although thousands have come to India also. 2022 marks the fifth year of the exile of its community. The Dhaka wants to repatriate with security and dignity. Okay, because Bangladesh also want to repatriate them back to Myanmar with security and dignity, because they are the Muslim people and most of the people in Myanmar being Buddhist. So there is a religious view as well as the military junta in Myanmar is not supporting the Rohingyas. So they are at loss, and in fear of life they have left the country and have taken exile, even being living as refugee inside Bangladesh. Fine. So these are the major developments that took place in the seventh round of discussion between India and Bangladesh, which was held recently at New Delhi. Moving to the second topic for today is about the West Seti power project between India and Nepal. Okay, this project is in Nepal, so it's located in Nepal over the Seti River. Fine. Nearly 4 years after China withdrew from it. So initially, China agreed to develop this hydropower project. Okay, so ambitious hydropower project was developed by China, but China left it midway. So why China left? Because why China enter into this first? China enter into this agreement with Nepal to spread its influence to the Himalayan country. Fine. So Nepal was very close to India, and India has developed many power plants, power projects in Nepal. But in the recent past, due to some sort of mismatch in the mindset of the political establishment, so there is some siege between India and Nepal, and that provided a scope for China to make an entry to Nepal. And when China made the entry, so China has taken up some projects in Nepal. One of these projects is the West Seti project, is a hydroelectricity project, but China has left it. So citing that this is unviable. So continuing this project will be unviable for China. So China has decided not to invest in this project. But when China withdrew from this project, so this provided a scope for India to re-enter. Since India was Nepal's power market, it has a policy of not buying power from the China executed projects, which set was given to India. The project, the power, Nepali surplus power from Nepal normally is taken by India. Fine. We have many such projects in Nepal from where we purchase power and connect to the northeastern states of India. But so our condition is any Chinese executed projects, we are not going to purchase power from that. And that compelled the Nepali establishment to, when China decided to leave this project, to pass on that project to India. Fine. The project will handled by the India's National Hydropower Corporation has already begun preliminary engagement of the site in far western Nepal following the Indian Prime Minister visit to Lumbini in May 2022. Recently, in May, Indian Prime Minister visited Nepal, and he attended the meeting at Lumbini, and that at that place, so India agreed that yes, we will take up the project, and the preliminary work has been started by the National Hydropower Corporation of India, and so India will take up this project. Why China withdraw from this project? It is a 750 megawatt West City project. It was financially unfeasible and its resettlement and rehabilitation costs were too high. But citing this region, so China withdraw. But it might have been done prior to taking up the project. Before taking up the project, China must ensure that whether this project is financially viable or not, and second, whether the resettlement rehabilitation of the displaced people is possible or not. But without calculating this, China has made an entry so to be close or to spread its influence in Nepal, but ultimately when come to cost analysis, China withdraw. Estimate to cost Nepal 104 billion and around 600,500 crores rupees in Indian rupee. The project envisages to provide Nepal 31.9% electricity free Besides, local affected by the project are being given a share of Nepalese rupees 10 million plus 30 units of electricity per month free from this particular project to the people who will be affected by this project. Okay, so coming to Indian strategy, once the project are made multi-purpose with flood control, navigation, fishery, irrigation, contributing to agricultural growth, etc., cost of power will be much lower compared to existing rates because China want to develop it as a hydroelectricity project, but India want to develop it as a multi-purpose river valley project. This is the difference. So what is the difference? China want to develop this West City project as a power project, hydropower project. Whereas India will develop it as a multi-purpose river valley project. And it has many things. Irrigation is there, navigation is there, fishery is there. Okay, so flood control is there. So all these added, the cost of power, unit of power generated will be definitely less. Okay, so once the project are made multi-purpose, fraud control, navigation, fishery, irrigation control, irrigation growth, cost of power will much lower compared to the existing rates. This will help people on both sides and will have multiple benefits. This is Indian strategy. Look at the wider strategy in which India want to implement this because India has many such projects in India. So where we have we normally take up it not only as a hydroelectricity project but as a so we take it as a multi-purpose river valley project. That's the difference. Okay. So Nepal constitution on such project it has a provision under the new constitution that under the any treaty or agreement with any country or on natural resources will be required parliament certification by at least two-third majority. If Nepal will execute any agreement on natural resources with any other foreign country, that bill must be passed by the Nepali parliament. So that will also mean homework will be required before any hydro project is signed and given for execution. So this is Nepal's concern right now. But India has expressed its willingness to take up the West City project when China left this midway, citing that it is not going to make this project financially viability to Chinese investment. But it only considered the economic point of view. If there is no benefit to is coming to it, so it decided to quit the project. But that's not Indian approach. So India want to develop it, make it a multi-purpose projects with benefit commensurate benefit coming to both the sides. Fine. Then the third topic that we want to take today is the flood situation in Northeast. So with the onset of monsoon, northeastern states are like every year, they see the devastating floods. Floods in Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya continue to remain green with no sign of let up in the rainfall, causing widespread floods and landslides. The flood plains, flat rates of the land takes to a river or river Brahmaputra, Barak, and their numerous tributaries are highly flood prone. Because so these are the flood prone areas. The Brahmaputra Delta, the Brahmaputra River and its tributaries, so they are the area adjacent to it as much flood prone and susceptible to flood every year. Every year they witness massive flood in this region. Sediment load of Brahmaputra is among the highest in the world, which reduces water carrying capacity. That is what the major reason of flood. The sediment being drained to Brahmaputra because the landslides and all these sediments being drained to the river, so has made this water carrying capacity of the river has been reduced. That led to flood. Unstable character Brahmaputra due to earthquake prone nature of the region. So Brahmaputra, which is called the sorrow of Assam, so it changes its courses in every year. So that led to massive flood. Fine. Bank erosion and debris deposition around Brahmaputra, Barak and the numerous tributaries so made has reduced the carrying capacity of the river. Then habitation, deforestation, population growth in catchment area, encroachment in forest lands and water bodies are also the man-made reasons for increasing the possibility of flood. Okay, so this is a regular phenomenon each year during the monsoon season. So Assam and some of the northeastern states they witness massive floods. It's a very regular phenomenon. So that needs a long term and short term. In the short term measures, we can building and strengthening embankment on the rivers, dredging of the river bed. They are the short term measures. So to instantly have some relief during the flood situation. But looking at the long-term issue, so the long-term issue is integrated basin management system, bringing in all the basin sharing countries, flood plain zoning, uh, and river channel improvement to increase hydraulic capacity of the river. So these are the long-term requirement of the particular issue. But government should first start the short-term project to give immediate relief to the people and may plan for the long-term solution to this issue, which can find a lasting solution to the regularly happening issue in the river. Fine. So and one more topic is there for today also. Okay, think of. So this is called the Dravidian socio-economic development model. Okay, so normally the south states of Tamil Nadu, the Dravidian model of governance is about peace, progress, and prosperity, which is achieved by pursuing the principle of social justice, rational thought, and action firmly rooted in equity. So here the concept not equality but equity. The Dravidian thought put emphasis on about peace, progress, prosperity, and equity. This translates to inclusive financial planning, access to education, nutrition, and health for all, and meaningful implementation of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, which has been set by 2015 to 2030. 17 goals to be achieved by the entire nations of the world. Social justice principles in Tamil Nadu were initially emphasized and proclaimed by the Periyar, who fought for community-based representation while fighting the abuse of caste system. So caste system was opposed there, and community should be made the principle of development, and also all programs should be focused on the community. Dravidian politics in Tamil Nadu has played a significant role on democratizing public space for wider participation. Fine. What steps they have taken? We can discuss them in little detail. Tamil Nadu has been a pioneer broad basing entry into school education through a slew of incentive non-meal noon meals. So it was first Tamil Nadu who introduced the midday meal scheme in its schools. Before it was launched by the government of India, the midday meal scheme, noon meal scheme was launched in Tamil Nadu first. Over time, mobilization and policy response fed into recreation of social and college infrastructures, apart from expanding the horizon of aspirations among the lower caste household, and enabled one of their highest enrollment rates of women and women lower caste. So this is because of their own practices. Fine. So the backward class commission appointed by the state research Santanam commission, then the other one under so there is Santanam commission is one, and they have also appointed another commission. Fine. So they all have recommended to give reservation on community, not in caste, and they have added the OBC reservation. And Tamil Nadu is the state where the reservation percentage is much higher than the national average, which they have kept in the ninth schedule of the constitution. Tamil Nadu has increased the reservation, but have kept them under the ninth schedule. Under the ninth schedule, giving immunity from judicial review. So this model need to be implemented in other parts. So for bringing equity in the society. Fine. So let's see the question for today. So first today there is a question. India was one of the first country to recognize Bangladesh and establish diplomatic relations immediately after its independence in December 1971. Fine. Bangladesh is India's biggest trade partner in South Asia. This is also correct. Exercise Indra is a joint exercise between India and Bangladesh. No, exercise Indra is with Russia. Fine. This military exercise called Indra. We conduct this exercise with Russia, not with Bangladesh. Indra is with Russia. But which exercise conduct with Bangladesh? With BDS. So we conduct the exercise Sampriti. These are exercises. So only P is right. Then moving next. The Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1950 formed the bedrock of Indo-Nepal relationship. It's correct. So first it was signed in 1950. In recent years, India's relations with Nepal have witnessed some low because of the Chinese influence. The Belt and Road Initiative China has not been signed by Nepal. Nepal has signed it. The Belt Road Initiative or the OBOR, One Belt One Road, OBOR or the BRI of China. So signed by Nepal. And then Nepal. So China started investment in Nepal. So it was signed. So it was signed. So this is incorrect. Only one and two are correct. India has not signed it. So India has not been a part of the Belt Road Initiative or the OBOR of China. Following statement: inflation expectation refers to people's household expectation what the inflation rate will be in future. This is right. Yes. The second one, an economy is said to be undergo recession. Recession is a slowdown. It is a slowdown. When it contracts for three consecutive quarters, no. Okay, it is going for two consecutive quarters, not three. So only one is right. Okay. The Ministry of Environment and Climate Change has banned polythene bags under 20 micron. No, 40 micron. It's not 20 micron, it is 40. According to the Plastic Waste Management Rules 2016, there is a complete ban on sachet using plastic metals for selling gudka, tobacco, or pan masala. This is right. So only two is correct. Because this is not 20 micron, it is 40 micron. 40 micron is banned. It is a journey. So, what's the following statement regarding the Psyche mission? It is a journey to a unique metal-rich asteroid orbiting the Sun, Mars, and Jupiter. It operates with a goal of exploring and building block of planet formation on the iron cores. Fine. So both are right. So the right answer is C. Fine. Friends, coming to the today's long question, let's see what is there for you in the answer writing pattern for today. See, discuss the role of women in various social, political, and environmental movements since independence in India. So, women constitute half of India's population. Fine. So, India's independence movement witnessed enormous participation from the women community due to Gandhian leadership and social reform, including his better half, Kasturba Gandhi. So many women leaders participated in the freedom movement, and they have played a very dominating role in the freedom movement. Fine. Aimed at ending their subjugation in society. Even after independence, women from various strata of society continued to voice their opinion and discontent through social, environmental, and political grassroots movements. So many movements are launched in the post-independent India, so to upgrade the status of the women. The political movement, Indian Constitution granted de jure political equality to women. That means de jure means legal. Constitutional provision give them legal equality. De jure means legal equality. But by through the universal adult franchise under Article 326. However, de facto women were subordinated in politics because their representation in the country's parliament and assembly is too less in comparison to their population. The Women Reservation Bill is pending since more than 4 decades. Women, through their participation in political movement like the anti-price rise movement, the JP movement, and other tribal and peasant movement, try to achieve an equal footing in modern India, which has not been made possible except being given 33% reservation in PRI and he will be reservation. Fine. So moving next, the conflict and hierarchy in Indian society necessitated a response from the women. Thus, women started struggling against gender discrimination, domestic violence, alcoholism, rape, and patriarchal social attitude. Organizations like the Saheli Self-Employment Women Association, SEWA, that Naga Mothers Association, etc., have been at the forefront of this movement. There are so many women movements uh, who have promoted or championed the cause of women in post-independent period. Environmental movements, environment protection movements in India could not have succeeded without the much needed support of the women activists. You see, you can think of the Chipko movement and its leader Medha Patekar of Chipko movement. And think of the human rights against this Iram Sarmila in case of APSA. Okay, so it is possible. So protection and ecological rights environment, but also inspired environmental movement in other parts of the world as well. So as a result of this women empowerment participation are now regarded indispensable for sustainable development. The role of women in transforming the social, economic, political landscape of India could never be ignored. These movements adopted to ensure constitutionally guaranteed right for women. But despite their overwhelming contribution, women still lack adequate political representation and social empowerment. Our society remains in want of more such movements that assert equality, demand rights, and generate democratic dialogue for change. So women have been participating, but their participation rate need to be increased, further strengthened for bringing an equality and equity in the society. Thank you for watching. So, due to this some technical issues started late. So, continue watching our program every day and upgrade yourself. Thank you for watching. Thanks again.